The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that KDog has now left the building, and I've been joined by Matt. Welcome, Matt. Thanks for joining us here on waiting quite patiently as well in the wings, in the green room. Oxfordshire junior hockey has had, a really good winning streak during this season, but I just want to sort of take you back through your background of hockey and how you got into it and how you got into coaching the juniors.
Okay, so I used to be a player quite a long time ago, and I stopped. I had some injuries that made me stop. And having children, I think it was natural that my son was quite interested in sport, so he was banging a golf club around the garden and said maybe we should try him at hockey. And I got involved in coaching from the age when he was 6. And then I coached at a club locally to me, and then after that I decided I wanted to do something a little bit more, so I got my coaching badges and then decided I wanted to do a little bit more with Oxfordshire.
Brilliant. And so going into that, where the pathway is for the Oxfordshire junior hockey, how does that work? Does it start at the age of 9? Or
yeah, so it's quite an inclusive sport, so you've got kids from the age of 5 all the way to 13 play mixed. So girls and boys basically, and then they get segmented around year 7, and then if they think they're good enough, their clubs will put them forward for county hockey, and at the age of in year 7 they basically go through trials in the summer, where there's a number of coaches and they're looking for things like coachability, skills, teamwork, all the essential things you want for a team sport. Okay, so they start at the age of 13 and they can play all the way up to their age 17, 18 in their sort of first year of upper 6 basically.
What sort of numbers do you get in?
Oh, it's huge. So when the kids start at that age, there must be a couple of hundred kids that come in and coach, and it's great. It's great for some, but it's disappointing for others as well. Yeah. But my experience is, having seen my kids go through it, is that sometimes they get selected and sometimes they don't, but that evolves quite nicely over time.
Yeah, no, that's really good. It's interesting. See the difference. We go through an assessment process for cricket, and we deal with the under-18s, and we probably don't have quite as many as that at that age. It sort of goes off a little bit at that stage, but at the younger age groups, youngers
definitely. But as they get older, I think kids play 2 or 3 sports when they're younger now, and then they get so we've got a core group of people, the boys under 17, where some of them weren't selected at that age, but they've evolved with their clubs. And now they're good enough and more than good enough and capable of playing in that environment.
So you've gone through the sort of assessment process that they do. What are the leagues? What do the leagues look like in Oxfordshire for junior hockey?
Okay, so if you're at a club, I guess there's under 6, 7, 8, 9 tournaments that so a club like Oxford Hawks or Bicester or Abingdon or Wallingford will have like a day dedicated to specific age groups, and they can play mini games. It's great. And it's a great environment for the parents as well, and the clubs get an environment that's quite friendly and it's sort of semi-competitive, I would say. And then as it gets more serious, I think there's leagues where they'll be challenged just within Oxfordshire, but also the wider, if their club's good, they've got some leagues that are more serious against clubs outside of the county as well. So there's quite a breadth. So if you want to just keep it simple, there's options there, but if you want to play quite intense or challenging or competitive hockey, that's there too.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And is there a lot of leagues for?
Yeah, there's quite a lot. It's managed from what I understand, essentially within England hockey, or within Oxfordshire as well. So a bunch of people, or within the clubs as well.
Interesting. So you're obviously got into coaching. You're coaching the Oxfordshire and the 17s. Tell us about the season. It's been quite exciting.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. So the journey started 3 years ago, and I should say we, because my other coach, Jim, he's not available today. So it's just, unfortunately, you just got me. But we've been on a journey with this group of boys for 3 seasons now. And in the first season, we started with a bigger group of boys, and we've gradually shaped them into a team where they're starting to perform. So we've probably spent a whole bunch of time in the first season coaching them more skills and more gameplay, and when we've developed with them, it's been a lot more sort of positioning them. So they've all played together for 3 years minimum. They all know each other, and they all work very hard for each other. There's the huge team dynamic, and it's quite nice and diverse too. So we've got kids from different clubs, We've got kids from different schools, and it just created that very strong ethos as well.
That's good to hear, isn't it? Because, you know, myself and KDog, the co-presenter, we talk about teams that we've had where you get that cohesive working together, and you get some good teams. You might not necessarily have the best players, but as a team together, they come together and they've got each other's backs, haven't they?
And this is why I think we've done well, because we built this team environment together with the team, and also Jim and I, and with the support of the parents, I dare say. They've been super helpful. But we've got this team cohesion that we come up against big counties, London, Kent, who've got some very established hockey clubs, and they don't really see the dynamic until it gets onto the field. And then we've been really dominant this season because we play for each other, and people on the bench are substituting on, and you know, they're very keen to be that cohesive unit for 20-25 minutes. And then we have some scope around half time what we're going to improve on, and they build together. So it's always a focus on that core team and that core group.
And you alluded to there, some of the sides in your division decent.
Yeah, they are. And when let's not be, we've not just had this success, you know, we've had to build on it. So the first season out of 9 we came 7th. Last season we came 3rd, and this season we've won it. So we've set ourselves a task quite early on that we wanted to progress with the group, and they've done way better than we ever thought they would. But it's down to their hard work and determination as well.
Brilliant. Really proud to be champions then.
Yeah, absolutely.
With 2 games to go as
we
well,
have 2 games to go. We're playing on Sunday at Tilsley Park.
Oh, right, okay.
What's nice, hockey is kind of different to football, where so basically at the junior age they play 25 minutes each way, and then you either get a gap of a game or you play again. So it's quite an intense period of time, and that's why fitness is important, and that cohesion around group is important, so they stay together and they're close. So yeah, we've got 2 more games. We're playing Hampshire, which is the county I represented, and then we're playing Kent. So I'm hoping we don't, but if we lose both those games, it doesn't matter, we're champions, but we're trying to maintain a 100% record. It's been, you know, for the boys, they've done so well that they deserve that accolade, I think. So.
Yeah, that would be awesome, wouldn't it, to go out on
Absolutely,
that high. Especially for 3 years' work as well.
It's 3 years' work, and it's said, Jim and I have worked very hard in the background on various different plans and trainings, and we've got advice from multiple coaches. It's been a journey, definitely.
That's so interesting. I'm going to take you away from Oxfordshire and think about a little bit of England hockey and where you think that is at the moment. And
okay.
How do you feel that?
So it's quite interesting. I think there's a guy called John Royce who put a post out recently about the demise maybe of county hockey, or the being overlooked by England hockey. And I went through the county system, and it was very established pathways. But they've got several different pathways now for you to go into more roles where you can play for your country and representation. So there's the club system, the county system, the talent academy system, and then what they call the player pathway. So it's quite convoluted. It makes a lot of sense. They're trying to make sure they cover all talent, but they kind of make sure that each group has its own pathway to potentially playing for their country or Great Britain with the Olympic cycle. So
I was going to say, is there anybody in your side that are pushing for that accolade?
I don't. That's a difficult question.
It's a difficult one, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So what happens is certain players of that calibre are pulled out a lot earlier, I think. And I know at least one person in our age group that used to play for Oxfordshire, it was one of the schools in Oxford, who is part of that squad. But it's few and far between at the boys. The group I've got, they're more than capable of playing at county level and further. They all play quite senior men's hockey in Tier 2, for example. So they're very established adult players at the same time. So do they have the potential to do it from now to the future? Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of them have got the right attitude, and it's whether or not they want to go on that journey as well. So never say never, basically.
No, absolutely. Bit about you. What position did you play?
I used to be a striker. Yeah, for my sins.
Putting all the goals in.
Yeah, what would be classed as the easier position, but I find actually coaching defensively a lot easier now than I wasn't too interested when I was a player. But yeah, the defensive setup is something I'm more interested in, and trying to think about how I break it down.
Yeah, no, that is interesting. And final question, really, Matt, is and it's around what advice you'd give to any youngster watching this who might want to get into hockey, what advice would you?
I think
give them?
it depends what age you are, right? If you've got a local club, it's worth just going to explore what it feels like to play hockey. It's kind of a halfway house between rugby and football. And you've got the advantage if you play cricket, like we were talking about, it's something that you can naturally work with. And try and see it as a community and see it as an environment where you'll meet different people. And then, you can try that, you can try football, you can try different sports, but it's a sport that's kind of, it's both skills based on stick and ball, but also fitness as well. So there's lots of ways you can get into hockey.
That's really interesting. Thanks for coming in, Matt. It gives you an insight again to Oxfordshire junior hockey that I didn't know about. So it's always nice to hear these stories and get people in to tell us what happens, because we don't know. Thank you very much. Good luck against Kent and Hampshire. I hope those two games go well. Finish the season unbeaten.
I'm hoping that the boys, I know they want to win, so I'm hoping that they have kept fit over the last couple of weeks. We've had a little break and Easter and they perform really well, and I'm sure they will. They're all keen to make an impression, definitely.
Hopefully I've not had too many eggs.
Not many too Easter, yeah, exactly.
That's right, that would be good. If you're watching, hit the subscribe and like button. We're doing quite well. We've got 40 viewers. 40 viewers today. So thank you everybody for watching it. It's great. We've had 2 champions in tonight, haven't we? So it's been a fantastic show from that perspective alone. But again, thanks.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for coming in. Especially had an operation recently as well, and it's a little bit of a foot injury, but he managed to get in behind the table tonight. So thanks again.